What up? So, I got the vlog. What was that? I got the voxels working, so I will show that in a second. But right now, I am going on a little hot girl walk and did my hair. Got a new necklace. I'm about to head to Whole Foods, pick up some protein, because your girl locking in finally. I'm finally locking in. I'm eating healthy. I'm going to the gym almost a lot. More than I have been. And look that. And I'm finna be like this nigga. Anyway, I will show you the voxels soon. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and a subscribe, brother. Okay, it's time to show what I've been working on, finally. This is exciting for me because I've pretty much been super productive because I delete all my dating apps. So I'm not being distracted by femoids anymore. Just kidding. I do not call women femoids. I hope no one that I could potentially date sees this. I'm just kidding. It's just a silly joke. I'm just chronically online. I'm not an incel. Anyway, we're going to just show the damn code. Goodness gracious. Okay. All right. So here we have. I'm still on a different branch right now. Because I'm still like optimizing things and I'm working on like the chunk management. Chunk management? What? Remember how I said I was switching it to use voxels? So the original plan was just to get like walls and like a ceiling and just an enclosed space. And I thought, oh, what if I make it out of voxels? That could be fun. So I did that. But I won't lie, I went a little bit nutty mode. I'm just gonna come clean. So it's generating all the terrain right now. Terrain? I thought it was just walls. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I did this. I kind of went a little crazy. So I added terrain generation from like Perlin noise, basically. So the lighting's a little bit weird. So like you can only kind of see them from certain angles right now. I have to fix the lighting and shadows and stuff. But so what we have is voxels. Below a certain level, I just have blue. And notice that it's not rendering anything outside of it. I'm getting about like 400-ish frames per second on my 5080. This is my gaming PC. On my laptop, which I just learned recently, this whole time my laptop's been using the integrated GPU. How I found that out is I did implement bindless textures. And then it didn't work because it was using the integrated GPU. Integrated Intel GPUs, I guess, don't support certain openGL extensions. Learned that the hard way. So I took out the bindless textures. I was able to figure out how to get it to run with the discrete GPU because my laptop has a 4060 in it. But I thought, like, if it's gonna be an issue, I might as well like take it out. That way I don't have to like run my terminal with my discrete GPU. It just makes my laptop super loud when it's using the discrete GPU. Anyway, but yeah. So it gets 60 frames per second on the integrated GPU. Obviously that sounds decent, but it's not good enough because there's gonna be a lot more stuff need to render besides this. Right now, each chunk has its own draw call. So I'm working on optimizing that. So there's only one draw call to draw all this stuff. I'm figuring out how to do that. I tried like just So just meshing it together the same way I did for the individual chunks. But I was thinking like, if you take a look at when it is generated in chunks, I'm printing out the size of each chunk. So this is the size in bytes. Each chunk is around 2 megabytes. And they're all being sent to the GPU and stored in video RAM. So I'm pretty worried about all that. So I want to optimize that as well. If it won't like, it'll fix the speed thing if I mesh it all together, but it won't fix the size. So I'm looking for a better solution for that. I was thinking maybe greedy meshing or indirect rendering. I also saw a video where someone took, they encoded the vertices into like a 32-bit integer and sent that to GPU, so that like lowered it down a lot. I'm pretty sure I could just do that. So gonna work on that. Let's see what else. But yeah, I should actually show like the indoor stuff too. So let's go to the main function. So I'm going to actually I need to turn off the terrain. So let's do that. That is in the game scene. So let's just comment where it's drawing this or adding these chunks and where it's creating the terrain too. So we can do that and then switch over to the main. Gonna add back in my, oh god, the floor is not gonna work because I disabled the textures. Oh no. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come back and show you the floor later. I'm realizing that I have to, so all I did was disable the textures. Right now it is just using colors for the cubes, the voxels. So I need to add back in support for textures, obviously, is what I'm trying to say. Because yeah, it would be kind of stupid if I didn't support textures, obviously. Well, I was actually thinking that if I make everything out of voxels and just color them accordingly, I technically don't need textures, probably, depending on how I want to render my game. So I'm thinking about that. Another plan I was thinking of is find a way to encode models as three-dimensional arrays and then create those using the voxels. I don't think that would be that hard. I could probably just like do like a JSON file and process that and just have it say like, just encode like how many voxels are active and inactive, how many are what color they are, and that's probably all I would need for that. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show is the voxel, actually how I generate the voxels in the chunks. So I have like some cubes faces. Each face of a cube is it's its own array, which just has the vertices here and then the normals here. And then I have my UVs here. The reason I keep the UVs or texture coordinates in a different array is so if I wanted to do a texture atlas, I can just I can just process the UVs. So like if I have a texture atlas and there's a picture in like the second row, I can actually pass in like special UVs for that texture. Basically, I just want to be able to generate the UVs on the fly instead of having them statically in this array. And then I just have some colors that I append to it. So basically, to create the vertices, I just loop through the vert rows, and I just add all those vertices to this vector, which would be the final vertices. I add the UVs, and then based on what kind of block type it is, I add the color. So snow, water, dirt, grass are the types I have. And then here I add an offset of the position. So I will explain when I get to chunks what that does. So yeah, here I just basically, if I added a Boolean for the back, front, left, right, top and bottom of each cube, and if it's active, it'll add those vertices to that vert row. If it's not active, it won't add it. That's how I get the meshing to not render blocks that won't be seen. And then here I just draw it. Pretty simple. OpenGL stuff. And for the chunk, I have a few different types of chunks. I have a sphere, I have a landscape, which is what you saw, and I have a wall and a roof. The wall and roof are pretty simple. They just loop through the X and Y for the wall and just set it active. Here for the roof, I do X and Z, and then I also make the Y equal to however high that roof is. The sphere just uses like a sphere function to make a circle. And then landscape, obviously, that's the most complicated one. So what I'm doing is I'm looping through all the chunks, and then if it's below a certain level, I'm just setting it to be water, and below another level, I'm setting it to be dirt. Right now, you can't see the dirt because it's all underneath the ground. But if I add like digging and stuff, then you will be able to see it. And then after I set the water level, I loop through the X and the Z axis, and then I run a Perlin noise function to get a noise value. And then after that, I loop through the Y and check if Y is less than the noise value. And if it is, I set the block to true, is active to true. And if it is above a certain height, 70% of the height, I will turn it to a snow block. That's basically how I do that. And here, this is how I create the mesh. I loop through all the blocks, and then I check if the block next to it is active. So I do that for the X and the positive, negative direction in X, Y, and Z. And if it is active, I set the left, right, top, bottom, back, and front to false. If it's false, it won't add those. And then also I add any block that the X is equal to 0. I set the left side to false. If X is equal to the chunk size, I set right to false, blah, blah, blah. Do that for bottom Y, and then front and back for Z. I don't do that to the top because that'll make holes in the mountains if they go too high. And then I just add all those, and I increment the size of the vertices, which I use for the drawing code down here. This is all just the code to create the cubes. I just add cubes to an array, and then check whether I want to create a sphere, landscape, wall, or roof. Here I'm just printing out the size of that, of those vertices. Then I delete the cube array because I don't need it anymore. And then I have this to basically just whether I want to set up the buffers here or if I want to defer that to like a terrain generation, which is what I'm working on right now. At the moment though, I'm just looping through all the chunks and drawing each one. And then, yeah, so this is where I create the terrain. I have this all commented out because it's not working, right? I was thinking about indirect rendering too, to consolidate the draw calls. I just watched a video about it. But right now, I'm just looping through all of them and drawing them. I'm actually doing that in the game scene, not here. For some reason, when I loop through and draw all of them, it's way slower through this function. I'm guessing maybe it's just like a function dispatch issue or something. I don't know. But when I loop through in the game scene, it's much faster. So I gotta figure that out as well. But this is basically what I have so far. I'm pretty proud of it. I gotta say, it's not bad stuff. But for now, I'm going to work on optimizing this. And I also think I'm gonna go work on these arms. I'm sore, actually. I'm pretty sore. I did chest the other day, so I'm quite sore. But the grind don't stop. And like I said, a bitch is locked in. A bitch is trying to stay locked in. And winter arc starts now. It's not even winter yet. That's how proactive I am. And also, I don't have any dating apps or social media, so I can't doom scroll. I need to do something with my time. And I can't just do game dev 24/7. Okay. Thanks for watching. Let's go to the gym.